All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube page. I don't know what we're calling it. We're calling it my YouTube page for now. So welcome back to George Carmy's YouTube page. This is my second long form video, back-to-back weeks. So if I can keep up this pace of one long form YouTube video a week, I'll be pretty happy. That's kind of like, I guess I will call that the interim goal, and then maybe we'll see how this channel grows and what the demand looks like, and we'll kind of go from there. I was going to, and I'm still going to, I was going to do a horror movie tier list for you guys today. I'm still going to do that, but as I was preparing for this episode, the Ironheart trailer dropped. So I figured on top of the horror movie tier list I'm going to do for you guys, we're going to have some fun with that. Let's also just react to the Ironheart trailer. So first time I'm watching it, it dropped. When did it drop? It dropped 2 hours ago, so I'm not that late to the party. But yeah, let's just watch this and check the vibes.
Hello? For real?
Welcome, Riri. In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Oh, what is this?
Your interview. You'll suffocate and die unless you break into the device on the floor, where you will find a gas mask. Good luck.
Screw this.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. So you in or out? Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable, something
Important?
iconic.
It's a brand new
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision. But anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done. What will you do, Riri?
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew.
I could chew a lot.
You know nothing about this man.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that.
This is wild. A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady.
Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
So I listen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little ignorant to Ironheart lore. It seems like she's kind of just like Iron Man 2.0. I don't want to like reduce her to that, but that's the vibe I'm getting. But like I said, I'm just ignorant to Ironheart lore, so I don't really know her character. So I'm excited for this. Actually, I'm pretty excited for this. I know we got like a snippet of her in Wakanda Forever. So I'm excited to see more of her. But all right. Like I said, we're doing a fun tier list today. If I'm gonna give you guys these long form videos, if I'm gonna try to get one out per week, I want to have fun with it. You know, I want to kind of do something that I want to talk about. So we're gonna do a tier list of 2020's horror movies. It's not exhaustive. This is not like every horror movie that is released in the 2020s. It's just like a handful. I don't even know how many are actually on this list. Does it tell me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 41 on this list. Perfect. We'll have some fun. We'll talk horror for a little bit. I really hope YouTube doesn't remove this video for the Ironheart trailer. I don't know how YouTube copyright stuff works, but hopefully this video is posted for you guys to watch. But let's get into it. 2020's horror movie tier list. Play along with me, guys. Comment below. Tell me, what tiers would you throw some of these on? What are the biggest differences you guys would make? We got a standard 6-tier list: S, A, B, C, D, and F. So we'll just run the top to bottom. Heretic. I liked Heretic. I think when you touch on religion and horror, you have to be like really like phenomenal. You have to open some interesting conversations for me to really love you. And that just wasn't necessarily the case for Heretic. It's certainly not a movie I disliked, but I don't think I can put myself. C seems fair for Heretic. Hugh Grant gives a really solid performance in that lead role, but I don't see myself putting it higher than C. I see Alice in Terrorland coming up next. That's an F. That's a tough sit. That's a really, really tough movie to sit through. It's one of those movies that is just so bad you can't even have a good time with it. And I see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey here, so I'm going to throw that on F as well. Those are two movies where it's like, I went into them hoping that I could at least like laugh and giggle and just have a good time at this idiotic concept, but that was not the case. Those were tough to sit through. Those were bad movies, and like not even so bad they're good, they're just bad. We're moving on to The Invisible Man, one of the biggest releases of like that COVID era streaming. Gonna toss this in B. I like The Invisible Man. I frequently revisit that dinner table scene where the Invisible Man slits her sister's throat. That's unbelievable. I don't know if YouTube's going to censor that, but that's what happens in the movie. And that's still today, to this day, remains one of the most jaw-dropping moments in horror from the 2020s that I've experienced. That was unbelievable. We're moving on to The Substance. This is where my hot takes might kick in. I know The Substance was Oscar nominated. I know Demi Moore was Oscar nominated, and a lot of people think she should have won for The Substance. I am not as high on this movie. I wrote a nice long piece on Letterboxd kind of explaining my lack of satisfaction with this movie. I think it comes off significantly more shallow than I would have liked. I don't think it is this, incredibly empowering film that a lot of people are making it out to be. And I think the body horror is just, it's too much. It's not something I enjoy looking at. I'm not going to insult this movie and throw it in D or F. I'll throw it here in C with Heretic. I understand it's a well-crafted film. It looks beautiful. Demi Moore does put on a fantastic performance. Margaret Qualley is also putting on a fantastic performance, but at the end of the day, it's just not a film for me. It's a screenplay I just don't really care for. I do see Hard Eyes. Hard Eyes is going to go in that D area. It's a recent watch of mine. It's you kind of expected a fun slasher, but it ended up being kind of a bore fest. A bore fest with a really uninteresting villain reveal, kills that were not as gory and not as awesome as I would have liked. Especially when you compare it to other holiday films. I see Thanksgiving here. I'm just going to go ahead and toss Thanksgiving in that B. That is a much better holiday horror slasher film. Like that movie, Thanksgiving is a ton of fun. You know what? I think I'm like fucking up these tiers. I think what I'm going to do, I think I am going to move The Substance down here. And I'll rank them in each tier. So I'm going to put The Substance above Hard Eyes. That is how I would rank those two. And then, yeah, I think I would hold these correctly. So scratch what I just said about The Substance and not wanting to truly disrespect it. I guess I am truly disrespecting it by throwing it in the D tier, but just I'm looking. There's only 6 tiers. We got a lot of movies coming down the pipeline, so we'll see. Maybe eventually I'll alter this tier list. But like I was saying about Thanksgiving, really fun, really fun holiday slasher film. It subverts your expectations in a lot of these genre tropes. A fantastic villain reveal. I think that's what's really setting it apart for me from something like a Hard Eyes. It's just a really good villain reveal, and the gore is just it's living up to the hype. Then we got Final Destination, Bloodlines. I got a chance to see this early last week, so it's been sitting in my brain for a while. Really liked it. I really had a good time with it. It's exactly what you would expect out of a Final Destination movie. You know, creative kills. There's a slight narrative change in this movie that I think is going to work for a lot of people, not work for a lot of people. It does work for me. I really enjoy it. So this is going to be a high C tier movie for me. Certainly going to put it above Heretic, and certainly a movie I could see myself revisiting and even bumping up to maybe that B tier eventually. But then we got Smile. I see Smile here, and then I also see Smile 2 here. So I'm going to kind of pair those together. I think they are just on par with quality. It's tough for me to tell you which one I like best, but I will tell you they are both going to go in that B tier. I'll put them. I didn't rank B tier yet. I think I would throw Thanksgiving above Invisible Man. And then I think I would throw Smile above here. And maybe just the recency bias is hitting me, but I'll put Smile 2 for now ahead of Smile 1. But I said this in my review when Smile 2 released. Give me a Smile movie every year or two, okay? Change the setting, change the location, change the kills, but keep that core foundation of this franchise intact, and I'll be seated every single time. I think these are really fun. I think they're really creative in horror. I think their kills are fantastic. I think their jump scares aren't overused and they're not really tasteless. I have a great time with the Smile movies. I know they're very hit or miss with a lot of people, but I fuck with Smile. I saw the TV glow. Jane Schoenbrunn, one of the most emotionally devastating films of 2024, absolutely ruined me. For a while, I would have told you it was an S tier movie, and then I rewatched it, and I think I bumped it slightly down, but it's certainly going in that A tier. One of the best horror movies, one of the best movies of this decade, absolutely stunning work from Jane Schoenbrunn, and I do see we're all going to the World's Fair right here, Jane Schoenbrunn's feature debut. This is going to be the highest B tier movie for now. This is unbelievable story about a girl who gets kind of sucked into this online horror interactive game, and it spirals out of control. It's a film about loneliness, a film about depression, a film about seeking companionship through the internet. It's just two unbelievable features from Jane Schoenbrunn, and two of the most interesting watches of the decade. We are coming up on Evil Dead Rise, the first S tier film in this horror tier list. I fucking love, apologies for cursing, I love Evil Dead Rise. I've seen it now like 4 times. I've bumped my rating up from a 3.5 to a 4 to a 4.5. And on 4th watch, it's a 5. I love it, man. I mean, obviously a hot take. I think this is the best Evil Dead movie. I love the apartment setting. I love how dirty and gross and claustrophobic it feels. Alyssa Sutherland is doing something special in this movie that I absolutely adore. And every time I watch this movie, it just gets better and better and better and funnier and funnier. And the fucking cheese grater scene is just, it's in my head all the time. I love this movie. We're moving on to When Evil Lurks. This was a 2023 release, I believe. Really, really solid supernatural horror film that I really thoroughly enjoyed. This is going to go in the B tier. I think I would throw this above the Smile movies. I had a really pleasant time. I mean, pleasant is the wrong word to use. I had a really good time with this movie. That fucking dog scene is just, it's always in my head as just one of the most gut-wrenching sequences in horror. So I think I'm not putting it above World's Fair, but I think above these four films would be a yeah, okay, yes. I'm second guessing myself, but yes. Ranking ranking within the tiers is a lot more difficult than you would expect. Pearl is here, and I also see X down here. So we're gonna work both of those in sync. I like X more than Pearl. Pearl is certainly gonna go on maybe this. I mean, I like them both. Maybe I'm being too lenient with this B tier. X is for sure gonna go on that B tier, and I really like X. I revisited it recently prior to Maxine, and I didn't never even ended up watching Maxine, but I had revisited Pearl. Um, I think I would throw it above. I don't know. I think right here, I really do. I really like X. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know. I know Ty West is a very divisive filmmaker. I know a lot of people didn't like Maxine. I know a lot of people might be a little bit higher on X and Pearl, but I really like X. I think it's a really solid slasher film. Pearl, I'm a bit lower on, so maybe I'll put Pearl in the C tier. I'll put Pearl as the high C tier, or maybe I would even put it slightly below. Whoa. No way. Okay, thank God. That scared the shit out of me. I thought I lost it. Pearl, I would put here. Pearl's going to go right here. I'll put it slightly below Final Destination Bloodlines. Still a good movie, though. Skinamarink. Now we're getting to some interesting picks. On first watch, years ago, whenever Skinamarink came out, I'm forgetting when Skinamarink. Get this ad off my screen. But Skinamarink, I believe, came out in 2022 or maybe early 2023. I really did not like it. I like famously gave it a half-star review or maybe a one-star review. I didn't like it. Had a really bad theater experience the first time I watched this movie. You know, it was in the middle of the day on like a Thursday. Packed theater, surprisingly. Everyone wanted to check out this new, low budget horror film. And my entire theater was just laughing the entire way through this film. So it was a really bad theater experience, put a sour taste in my mouth, didn't allow me to engage with the film properly. Rewatched it in the dark comfort of my apartment not too long ago, actually. It might have been a couple of months ago, maybe even a couple of weeks ago at this point. And my opinion just completely flip-flopped. I really enjoyed it. I saw something different. I'm at a very different point in my life now compared to the first time I saw this movie. Still gonna throw it in that C tier, but I think I'll put it in the high C tier. But again, that's a tough one to. It's tough to gauge because I think that's a movie that I can revisit in a couple of months, and I could see myself loving it a lot more. But I could also see myself not loving it as much as I did. Like I watched that movie at a perfect time in my life. So you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm actually gonna take Skinamarink. I'm gonna put it low B tier for now. That's where I'm gonna throw Skinamarink. I might be a little too lenient with this B tier. Maybe when we're done with this, I will move some things around. But for now, I'm gonna throw it at the low end of the B tier. Hell of a Summer I just watched. I did not fuck with this movie at all. I think when you want to throw a movie with all this Gen Z humor, it really has to land. I see Bodies, Bodies, Bodies on this list, and that is an example of Gen Z humor that does land for me. Hell of a Summer just doesn't land. I was talking about a bad villain reveal in Hard Eyes. It's even worse in Hell of a Summer. I didn't care for any of this movie. I won't put it in F. It's certainly not Alice in Terrorland and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey level bad. But I will throw it in that D tier. I'll go low D. I'll go the lowest D so far, so just below Hard Eyes and The Substance. Now we got Sinners. Holy shit. What a film. And I've watched it twice. And I think on third watch, whenever that happens, I think it could go up to that S tier. This really is something, man. This is a movie that is more about music and culture that just happens to have vampires in it, and I absolutely love it. That one sequence in the bar that everyone keeps raving about. They're raving about it for good reason. They're raving about it because it is that fucking good. It is such an unbelievable experience. Seeing that in IMAX was just life changing. So that's going to be the highest A. I'll slightly throw that above I Saw the TV Glow. Y2K, another film I did not care for, but I certainly enjoyed it more than The Substance and Hard Eyes and Hell of a Summer. So I'll throw Y2K in the highest D tier spot. Again, it's fun. It's fun. I had a good time. I know a lot of people like really hated this movie. I didn't have that experience with it. I didn't really hate it, but it's definitely a movie I will never revisit, and a movie that kind of went in one ear and out the other. Trap is on this list. I do see Trap on this list coming up next. It's tough to compare Trap to the rest of these horror movies. A lot of these are traditional horror movies. Trap is more of a psychological thriller, if I may. Regardless, it's still phenomenal. I really like Trap. I really had a good time with Trap, and I am a certified M. Night. I won't say hater, but I do not love him as much as the next person. But Trap is certainly a film of his that I absolutely adore. I'm going to throw that in the A tier, but it'll be below I Saw the TV Glow and Sinners. And I'm definitely due for a Trap rewatch. It's been a couple of months, and I do think about Josh Hartnett a lot. We got Watcher, starring Micah Monroe, directed by Chloe Okunyo, I believe. Let me take a sip of water. I love Watcher. Again, another film. I don't know if I would consider it a traditional horror film. This is way more of a psychological thriller. A film that has perhaps one of my favorite final 5 seconds of a film ever. No spoilers, but Micah Monroe gives this look to her husband, and it's just unfucking believable. This is certainly a B tier movie for me, but I think this for now will be the highest of that B tier. I really, really love Watcher. I really love Micah Monroe in this film. I really love that, exchange personnel in another country being stalked by someone and thinking she's just constantly losing her mind. Moving on to Five Nights at Freddy's. This is going to be in the F tier for me. I really hate this movie. Hate is a strong word. I really dislike this movie. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's funny. I never played the games, so maybe I'm just not there with the lore. But I really do not like this movie. I had a really bad time watching this movie. Saw this movie with my dad, and he hated it as much as I did. Absolutely tough watch. It's going to go in the high F tier. I'm certainly not going to tell you it's as bad as Alice in Terrorland and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It at least has some competency in filmmaking, whereas Alice in Terrorland and Winnie the Pooh feel like a couple of idiot 17-year-olds grabbed a camera and just made a fan-made film. But Five Nights at Freddy's definitely, it's not. I cannot, for the life of me, for my own morality, I cannot put it higher than F tier. Nope will be the highest film in this tier list thus far. And if I'm looking at the remainder of this list, we'll see. Some could come close, but Nope is that guy. Nope is that film. I absolutely adore this horror thriller film that's paying homage to some of my favorite films of all time, like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Jaws. It is so Spielbergian, with Jordan Peele just adding his signature flair to it. I think Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya are just putting on fantastic performances as these siblings. I love this movie. There are so many shots in this movie. Shout out Hoyda for the cinematography. There are just so many shots in this movie that are fucking beautiful. The shot of the alien above the house just dropping blood and disgusting shit over it's one of my favorite shots in horror ever. I've seen this movie like 5-6 times, and it's that good. It really is that good. For me, it's Jordan Peele's best. I know Get Out comes very close, but Nope is the one I find myself revisiting the most. Moving on to Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I see that one coming down the pipeline. Like I said with Hell of a Summer, if your Gen Z humor can work, I'll have a great time with your film. And Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is certainly an example of where Gen Z humor works. And believe it or not, I'm going to take Bodies, 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 if it'll let me, and I'm going to throw it right below Watcher. That is how much I like Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It's a film that Victoria and I regularly revisit. And not only do we regularly revisit it, but we regularly and consistently laugh and just have a good time. It's a funny movie. It is a funny fucking movie with so many expectation subversions, so many just hilarious one-liners. You know, Rachel Sennett is putting on a really funny performance. Maria Bakalova is putting on this really innocent defensive performance. It's a great movie. It really is. So believe it or not, that is going to be my second highest rated B tier film. I like it a lot, man. I really do. I enjoy this film a good chunk. We're moving on to Malignant. Here's my hot take. I love James Wan. I love Malignant, and that is going to go in the S tier. I love Malignant. Fuck you if you disagree. Sorry. But I love Malignant so much. I really do. It's so unhinged and silly and stupid and fun and gory in the best way possible. It's so scary. I love how the movie opens on this remote island. You see some experimentations going on, but you have no idea what's happening. And then you move over to follow this woman as she's kind of like diving deeper and deeper into madness, not knowing what's going on with her. And then by the end of the movie, everything comes full circle and you understand what's happening. So unbelievably good every time I watch it. It's a movie I watch, and every time I watch it, I think, okay, it's going to decrease in value. I'm not going to like it as much as I did last time. And the opposite happens. I like it more and more every time I watch it. First Omen has some truly jaw-dropping moments. You know, the moment of that, spoiler alert, the moment of the guy getting hit by a car and his body separating in half. There's some unbelievable moments. The entire birthing sequence, unbelievable moments in horror. This is going to be another B. There's a lot in the B tier, but I think a lot of it's worth it. This is going to go slightly below Bodies, 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 slightly. Actually, I might throw it here. I think right here is a good place to throw it. Slightly below X, slightly above When Evil Lurks. I don't know if a big part of how I rate and rank movies is like, how likely am I to revisit this movie? And you know, maybe I'll watch a movie and I'll give it a 4 stars, and 2 months later I'll be like, oh, I haven't thought of this movie since it released. I'll be like, okay, clearly doesn't have that impact on me that I would have liked. But First Omen is certainly a film I think about a lot. So I think this is a great place. Now the Monkey, man, the Monkey is so bad. The Monkey is so bad because it's so annoying because we're coming off of Long Legs, and I really liked what Osgood Perkins did with Long Legs. It's coming down the pipeline, but spoiler, it's one of my favorite movies, horror movies of the decade. So I was very excited for the Monkey, but holy shit, this makes me question if Osgood Perkins ever knew how to make a film. Like, did he just strike gold with Long Legs? Like, is he ever gonna repeat that quality? It's gonna go in that F tier. I'll put it at the highest F tier. I don't think it's as bad as Five Nights at Freddy's. It at least has like some fun kills, and the Monkey's cool, I guess, whatever. But damn, that is so far probably my biggest disappointment of 2025. You got Men coming down the pipeline. I don't like Men. It's my least favorite of Alex Garland's movies, and you're coming off of Annihilation and Ex Machina, 2 films that I fucking love so much. And then you drop Men, and it just kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I really didn't like it. I didn't like its environment. I didn't like the landscapes that we were treated to. I didn't like the story. I of course did not like that like final body horror birthing sequence, whatever you want to call it. It's going to go in that D tier. It's not going to go higher than The Substance or Hard Eyes. Yeah, you know what? If you ask me which film I'd rather rewatch of Hard Eyes, Hell of a Summer, and Men, it would be in that order. So I'll throw Men at the bottom of the D tier. It's certainly not an F tier movie. It's still Alex Garland. He still knows how to construct a film. But damn, was that one of the biggest disappointments of 22 or 23? I'm not sure what year that came out. We're moving on to Titan. Titan is going to go in that A tier. I will throw it right above Trap, right below I Saw the TV Glow. Titan is unbelievable. One of the most introspective films, one of the most thought-provoking films out there. It's visceral. It's this search for identity. It's this look at unconditional love. It's a movie that sent shivers down my spine. Just two people on a journey. They're both broken. They're both lost. They're both kind of finding solace in each other. It is so dense in its ideas and its themes. This is unbelievable. This is an unbelievable experience in film. Everything in A, you can order it in whatever order you want, and I won't care. That's how much I love all these movies. This is kind of what I'm feeling right now. We're moving on to Megan. As much as I don't like Megan, I'm weirdly excited for Megan 2.0. I still think it's like a stupid, fun movie. I'll put it at the bottom of that C tier just because it does provide some entertainment value. But it's such a nothing movie. It's a good watch. It's fine. It obviously suffers from that PG-13 rating. They should have just dove into that R rating and given us like a Child's Play type movie, just modernized with AI. But they didn't do that, and the results sucked, or it didn't suck. It just wasn't that great. Godzilla -1. It's my favorite Godzilla film personally. I think it's the best Godzilla film I've seen. I think my count is at like 12 or 13 right now in terms of how many Godzilla films I've watched. So I am still slightly ignorant to Godzilla lore. I haven't seen too many Godzilla films, but of the ones I've seen, it's absolutely the best. One of my favorite theater experiences of 2023. This is absolutely going to be thrown in that A tier, and I think I will put it right below I Saw the TV Glow and right above Titan. I think this is fantastic. I love the design of Godzilla. I love that atomic breath scene. Just blew me away in theaters. One of the most silencing, heart-pounding, jaw-dropping moments in film that I've seen this decade. Unbelievable sequence. Godzilla certainly going in that A slot. I would love to revisit it because I think it can move higher. I really, really love that film. Barbarian. I love Barbarian. I really do, and I'm excited for his sophomore feature Weapons to come out. Barbarian is funny. It's silly. It's so unhinged. You're in the tunnels with this demon, and then you cut to Justin Long in a car. It's such a tonal shift, but it works. This movie is just so insane, so unhinged, so insane. It's such a fun experience in horror, and it's also just bringing something unique to the table. So Barbarian's certainly going to go in that B tier. It's going to go higher than Skinamarink, higher than The Invisible Man. It will go, I think, higher than both of the Smiles. I might even put it higher than When Evil Lurks, and then maybe slightly. Oh man, do I put it higher than X? I think right now here is perfect. I don't think I would put it higher than X. I think I've revisited X just one too many times to justify that. But Barbarian is such a fun watch, and like I said, I'm excited for his sophomore feature in Weapons. He's obviously proving to be, one of the better horror filmmakers out there. Death of a Unicorn's coming down the pipeline. I really like Death of a Unicorn. I would not consider this a horror movie. This is a fucking satirical black comedy. But it's fun. I had a really good time. I know I'm in the minority on that one. I know a lot of people are not loving the eat the rich narrative in this film, but it really worked for me, and I had a great time. I was laughing my ass off the entire movie. Will Poulter is so funny. I love unicorn lore. I'm excited that we have a film that's kind of exploring unicorn lore, even if it doesn't do it in like, the most sophisticated way possible, but it's still fun. I had such a good time with this. Jenna Ortega, Paul Rudd, they're all putting on great performances. I'm going to throw this one as well in the B tier. I'll go low B. I'll go right here. I'll put it right above The Invisible Man, right below Thanksgiving. As much as I like this movie, as much as I like this movie more than the next person, I can still acknowledge it's not the best movie out there, but I can't deny my feelings. It was a fun movie. I had a really good time. Longlegs is certainly going to go in that A tier. I love it. I love that psychological horror. Um, I really do. I think it's just such a phenomenal display of psychological horror. I think Micah Monroe is truly one of the best horror actors out there. I think she's so stunning, and it is really a scary movie for me. I know a lot of people got caught up in that scariest movie of all time discourse, and they ended up being let down by the quality of the scares. But I think this movie is obviously demonic. It is so. It made me paranoid. It made me anxious. It made me feel uncomfortable. You know, I got home after my apartment after watching the movie, and I was looking over my shoulders because of how scared it made me. Um, you know, for an hour and 40 minutes, it pretty much felt like someone was taking a scalpel to my body and just slowly cutting me open and digging at me. It was just one of those really uncomfortable, anxious experiences in horror that I absolutely love, and which makes like that jump to The Monkey for Osgood Perkins so much more jarring. How do you go from one of the best horror films of the decade, a film that I think about every single day, a film that I can look at and compare to the likes of Zodiac and Seven and Silence of the Lambs, and then you make The Monkey one of the worst films of the decade, not even one of the worst horror films of the decade, just one of the worst films of the decade. But whatever, that's a discussion for another time. We're moving on to Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Persons. I love this movie. I really I love coming of age. I love movies that explore the human condition. I love movies that explore companionship, and then I love horror movies. And this movie kind of gave me all of that. If you love that TV show, it's the end of the fucking world. If you love the album The Queen is Dead, you're gonna love this movie. It really is just that type of dark humor and quirky storytelling that explores existentialism, human connection, and this search for meaning. And I love it. I really do. It's gonna go in that B tier for me. But I think this is gonna be not the highest. I don't think I would put it above Watcher. I really love Watcher. I really love Humanist Vampire. They're very interchangeable for me. You know what? Maybe I'm overcrowding this, but I don't want to move Skinamarink down to C. I like that. I like what there may be a lot of movies in this B tier, but I like them. I don't care. And you know what? We're gonna throw another movie in that B tier because Talk to Me is here, and I'm gonna throw Talk to Me. Oh, Talk to Me is fun. Talk to Me is it's one of the more unique experiences in horror that I've had this year. I really enjoyed it. It's grotesque, it's psychological, it's a torturous experience. It's a phenomenal outing in acting. It's certainly going to go in that B tier. I'm going to put it right. Oh man, I really like Talk to Me. Oh no, now we're struggling. Ranking tiers is a bad move. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna throw it move right here, right above Bodies, 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 right below Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Persons. But damn, ranking tiers is really tough, especially when you have a tier of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 movies. Damn. 15 of the 41 movies are in my B tier. I'm a B tier merchant right now. And fuck, I see it. I see it there. I see Alien Romulus. It's going on the B tier. I know a lot of people don't love this as an Alien movie. I do. I had a great time with this movie. It won't go too high on the B tier. This will be a little bit lower. I think I'm going to slide it right here, right above When Evil Lurks, right below The First Omen. I like Alien Romulus, man. I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people think it's nostalgia bait and you know the Marvel movie of the Alien universe where it's just meant for an applause and shit. I know a lot of people don't like the use of AI in this film, which understandable, obviously, but at the end of the day, I'm a science fiction freak. I'm a science fiction merchant. I'm a science fiction nerd. Um, I love the world of the Alien movies. I love the expansion of that world in Alien Romulus. I love that final 20 minutes The reveal at the end of it all is just beautiful, and I absolutely adore this movie. A Quiet Place Day One. Thankfully, we're going to move out of that B tier. Gonna go on the C tier. Totally fine movie. It's one of those films where I enjoyed my time with it. I enjoyed watching it in IMAX. It's a fun IMAX experience, and it's fun going back to day one of this apocalypse. It doesn't reach those heights of A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2. It really doesn't for me, but certainly an entertaining watch. I will throw this right here, slightly above Heretic, slightly below Pearl in that C tier. Nosferatu is going to go in that A tier. High A. I really like Nosferatu. I think, oh man, yeah, it's fantastic. It's not, oh man, does it go in A? No, no. I'm gonna keep it an A. I'm not gonna put it in S. I'm gonna keep it an A, and I will put it slightly below Sinners. I think Sinners is the superior vampire movie. But for a Robert Eggers Nosferatu film, it's everything you could expect. It's beautifully shot. It looks gorgeous. Bill Skarsgård is phenomenal as Count Orlok. Lily Rose Depp is my best actress pick of 2024. She was who I think was the best female lead actress of the year. Absolutely love this movie. It scared the shit out of me. It's such a I can't even say it's a unique experience in horror because it truly is Robert Eggers through and through. But I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. And then we're ending off with Presence. Presence was terrible. I hated it. It's so corny. It's so cheesy. It's so cringe. It's very inexperienced college film student tries to make a film. This is going to go in that F tier, but I'll put it at the highest level of F. It's not quite the Monkey or Five Nights at Freddy's bad, and it certainly is not Alice in Terrorland and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey bad, but it is certainly not a good movie. I could not wait to get out of that theater. It was one of the most cringe, corny experiences in film I've ever experienced. The whole sequence in the bedroom with the brother's friend is just it was laughably bad. It was poorly written. I don't think anyone in this movie wanted to be there. No one in this movie was putting on a good performance. That was a tough and really bad watch. But there it is. There's my horror tier list of the 2020s released horror movies. We are missing a couple. I know like the Halloween, I think Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends came out this decade. What else? Like Immaculate isn't here, but I think this is a good chunk of films. We got Nope, Evil Dead Rise, and Malignant in that S tier. We got Sinners, Nosferatu, I Saw the TV Glow, Longlegs, Godzilla -1, Titan, and Trap in the A tier. B tier, we got Watcher, Humanist Vampire, Talk to Me, Bodies, 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 We're All Going to the World's Fair, X, Barbarian, First Omen, Alien Romulus, When Evil Lurks, Smile 2, Smile, Thanksgiving, Death of a Unicorn, The Invisible Man, and Skinamarink. C tier, we got Final Destination, Bloodlines, Pearl, A Quiet Place, Day One, Heretic, and Megan. Moving into the D tiers, this is where we're really getting bad. Y2K, The Substance, Hard Eyes, Hell of a Summer, and Men. And then F tier, just some of the worst films of the decade. Presence, The Monkey, Five Nights at Freddy's, Alice in Terrorland, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That'll wrap up my second long form video. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Like I said, I'm going to try get you guys an episode a week. I think that's a good pace to be at. I think I could find an hour a week to record a fun episode. Praying to God that this episode is available. I don't know if YouTube is going to remove it because of the Hard Eyes trailer or the Ironheart trailer. But if they do, I'll just go back and cut that trailer out and, repost. But appreciate you guys for coming. If you made it to the end of this video, comment, like, subscribe, share. Comment below. Let me know how you would change up this tier list, if you would change it up at all. Maybe your opinion is the exact same as mine, although that would be slightly boring. But again, thank you guys for being here, and hopefully I can get you another episode next week. Peace.